Charlotte Motor Speedway. They're lean, they're mean, they're 5 to 7 horses, a man and machine. They're 4 wide before they start to slip and slide. The Coast to Coast Racing League 350A Modifieds, Pro Late Models, and the 360 Sprint Cars. The second half of the Coast to Coast Racing League season about to begin on this Monday night chilly winter Monday night. Welcome to another edition of Monday Night Madness as we come to you live from Cedar Lake Speedway up in Wisconsin. We're excited for some 360 sprint and open 358 action here as we are just about ready to go. Welcome to the Coast to Coast Racing League. We're so glad you could join us here on the Coast to Coast Racing Network. Marty Sakala joined alongside Brandon Dittmer. Brandon, we are now beginning the second half of the season when it comes to Monday nights, and the points are getting really, really hot. Still tight contests all around.
Yeah, this season's been absolutely incredible competition, and tonight's going to might throw a wrench in some people's plans, as this track can sometimes get one lane, and that one lane is going to get fought for over and over. So we'll see who comes out on top at the end of this and see who can retain a lead.
Let's pull up the 358 point standings with the drops in effect right now. It is very tight amongst the top 5. 16 points separate them. Of course, the Roland Coast to Coast Racing League action at the end of the season, you get your two worst races dropped from the point standings, and that is your total. Should we put those two drops in effect right now? This is how your top 5 would look. Anthony Morano with a 3-point lead on Sam Bachman. Clay Christopherson and Joseph Grandy each tied for 3rd. Scott Rioman's 5th, 16 points back. So it's another dominant FTM showing right now.
Those FTM boys are always fast in these things, but I tell you what, those Venom guys, once they get something rolling, they'll be right there along with them the back half of the season.
Let's move into tonight here. You brought up a one groove lane, and it could get interesting. You may want to be hitting the low line, the high side, whichever line is the dominant groove here. It could get interesting not just in the feature, but also heats as well. A whopping 32 drivers tonight. We'll have 5 heats this evening and maybe even a C main. That's something crazy to think about, BD.
Absolutely. Have we had this big of a field? I don't know.
We had a big field a couple weeks ago. I don't know. This is without doubt our biggest field of the year. Is qualifying, meanwhile, has just wrapped up. Get your drivers onto the racetrack. 32 drivers make up the count for Open 358, so it's going to be a long one. So sprint car drivers, your patience is greatly appreciated. Let's get our first drivers here on the track. We begin with the driver, the number 83, Training Wheels Racing Ride. That, of course, is our buddy Brandon Detmer. Let's ride on board with them as he starts to qualify. Keeping her right next to the cushion as he makes his way through turns number 3 and 4. Kurt Schatzer puts her at the top of the charts at a 14.06. So Superman leading on lap 1. Barker second. As Randall Dixon third. Scott Rayone fourth. Actually, check that. Andy Patton, the general, moves up to fourth. He's had a good past few weeks in his Rebels 360 sprint car. Trevor Giroux goes up to second on lap 2 at a 14.11. About 500ths off the pace. Brian Dickens goes up to fourth quick. Clay Christopherson across the line up to third, 14.12 on lap number 2. More lap times start to come in. Kelly Wheeler goes fourth on lap number 1. Sam Bachman, quick time at a 14.03. Bear with us. Our paint schemes are updating as Isaac Salas goes quicker. 13.99 for Slide Job. 13.985, 500ths quicker than the driver of the FTM 007. Second lap time slower for Salas, but man, what a lap as we've got 5 seconds left here of qualifying. Mike Brewer goes to 12th. Salas the quickest here. But my, oh my, what a car count we've got this evening in what was a very, very tight qualifying session. So with that being said, we are set to go with our top-notch trucking Open 358 Modifieds. First heat race of the night brought to you by Gambler Motorsports. Here's the starting lineup. As Michael Vitale, the jokester, in the 213 has her on pole thanks to the invert. Next to him, it's Randall Dixon, the bandit, in the 011. Row number 2, Putt-Putt, Clay Christopherson in the 51. And Slide Job, Isaac Salas in the 5. Row 3, Mason Hine, he's in the number 89. And the Magic Ant-Man, Anthony Morano, in the 32. And at row number 4, Greg Parmalee in the 4, and Devo Donovan Ross in the 5. So we'll have 4 heats of 8. Top half will go to the feature. Bottom half to last chance showdowns. As we get set to go, let us know who you're rooting for. Dean Reynolds checking in. He says he's hustling home from Canada to make Renegades. I think he was at Bicknell Racing Products earlier today. So hopefully the border wait wasn't too long for you, Dino. And Gary Sigelcal checking in, rooting for Venom Racing. Go one extra lap here before we take the green flag. Brandon, who you watching out for in this race?
Oh, it's hard to ignore that 5 of Isaac Salas, but look right behind him with Anthony Morano. He's been fast all season. He's going to look to make quick work of Mr. Isaac Salas.
Did not get the invert to his advantage. Again, if you're new to Coast Racing League, here's how a regular night works. After 2 minutes of qualifying, drivers get separated into heats. We invert the top 4 prior to the green flag. After 8 laps, top 4 transfer everyone else down to the 10-lap B main, where a specific amount transferred to our 30-lap feature. Unless it's Renegades, then it's 35. Green flag is out. Heat 1 is underway. Look at Salas trying to rip that cushion. Dixon shuts the door on him with a race for P2. Vitale, though, with the lead. Dixon trying to find a way around the outside as the jokester leads lap number 1. Ooh, Salas got on the quarter panel. Dixon sideways, and Salas hits him again. And collects Parmalee as well around the 011 goes. And now you got Devo also involved, too. Well, I think we pretty much have your top 4 in right now at the moment. Vitale, Morano, Christopherson, and Hine. Greg Parmalee, the first one out, but he's 1.5 seconds behind the 89 right now, Brandon.
Yeah, he's going to look to try to... Oh, was it Morano slams the wall. Luckily gathers back up.
Can't be doing that as he's wheel to wheel with his teammate Christopherson for P2. Now Vitali staying strong out in front. Half-second advantage on Anthony Morano. On board for the back of the 32. Three laps to go in heat race number 1. Salas, quickest car on track despite the accident in 6th, 14:03. But will take a miracle for him to get back into the hunt.
Greg Parmalee, look in that 5th spot, just unfortunately just losing too much time right now.
Yeah, he's 1.8 seconds back, lost a couple hundredths to Mason High. Morano, though, catching up to Vitali for the race lead. 2 laps to go. Don't count the Magic Ant-Man out of this yet.
Yeah, he's staying up on that cushion, getting her way wound up as he's going to have a big run coming out, too.
But he can't be scraping the wall. He just did that on the front straight last time by, but really good exits. Now he peaks underneath. Crisscross off the diamond. Through turns number 3 and 4. Checkered flag waves. Vitali wins heat 1 and is on pole. Morano 2nd. Christopherson 3rd. Heinen 4th. They advance. Parmalee 5th. Salas 6th. Donovan Ross 7th. Randall Dixon 8th. They go down to the B main tonight. We now move on to heat race number 2, brought to you by Regency Home Inspection, official partner of Brian Lawson out of the New York area, as well as a proud partner of Venom Racing. As Mike Guida starts on pole, he's in the 81. Next to him, the General Andy Patton in car 87. Row 2, Kelly Wheeler, he's in the 110. Next to him, Sam Bachman in the 007. Row number 3, Bob DeGood in the 7 car tonight. Next to him, it's Greg Bristol. He's in the 39/93. Final row this evening, Harold Klump in car number 2 and Keith Jackson in the 113. I think without question the man to keep your eye on here is Sam Bachman in that 7 coming from 4th.
Absolutely. Yeah. He's incredibly fast, and with that FTM team, he's just been nothing but getting more and more help, and it's showing.
Again, give them 1 extra lap before we go green. Winner starts on the outside of the front row.
And I did go ahead and take a look, Marty. There is no C main put into the session, so it will just be a massive B main.
Okay, so Vitali coming off that heat win, coming off that feature win last week, I should say, is starting on the pole position. Good chance to go back-to-back this evening, possibly. But ready for Heat 2 with the top-notch trucking, 358 modifieds. Winner starts in the front row with the Jokester underway for Heat 2. Wheel to wheel to turn number 3. Patton with the edge. Bachman trying to thread the needle. Nearly 3 wide for the lead. Patton leads lap 1, but he clips the wall. Bachman still looking really good in that middle groove of the racetrack. Mike Guida trying to clear in the 87 as well, Brandon.
Yeah, look, those guys kind of running that bottom middle part of the track. Really working out for him right now. As Kelly Wheeler trying to make some distance from Bob DeGood and Craig Bristol.
That's the race for P4. Patton around the outside trying to take the lead. Bachman, a little rear end contact with the 81 allows the General to clear. Wheeler now closing in on Guida for P3, and he's got some space on Craig Bristol, the first man out.
Bachman slide job. Nobody can pull it off.
Oh, contact with Guida. Guida had to left there, allows Bristol to get an opportunity to grab 4th. Leaning on the 81 store. This is tight. Squeezes him in the wall. DeGood backs out of it.
DeGood's broken.
You think Bob's broken?
Yep, he's broken.
Yep, he is towed her to the pits.
That didn't look like any contact there. I gotta go back and see what happened.
It was either neck code or he just hit one of those Uke tires dead center and messed up the race car. 2 laps to go in Heat 2. Guida trying to bounce back. Probably not too pleased at Bristol after that hard racing for 4th. Kelly Wheeler, quickest car on track at a 14.15. Trying to get second from Bachman. Final lap underway in Heat 2, PD.
He's going hard on that back bumper, pushing that Intimidator button. And unfortunately, Mike was not too little too late.
Here comes the General off turn number 4. Andy Patton commands the troops as he wins Heat 2. He's on the front row tonight. Bachman second, Wheeler third, Bristow fourth, all in the show. Weta fifth, Club sixth, Jackson seventh, to good eighth. The latter four are in the B main.
So yeah, I went back and looked at that. DeGood barely got the contact from Bristol, and it just broke his right front.
Let's I'm actually going to go to replay here and just take a look at that for the heck of it. All is good here. That was the last clean lap he had. That was lap number 4. Yeah, that was that contact with Bristol that probably just broke the suspension, if not a shock. Anyway, Heat 3 brought to you by Maurer Farm Management, official sponsor of our retreads division, as Logan Wentz on the pole in the 118. Next to him, Slide Job Scotty, Scott Rayome in the 4. Row number 2, the Brute to Beast, Jeff Barker in the 513, and Superman Kurt Schatzer in the 218. Row 3, it's Butters, Jason Butterfield in the 93, and the Spider Monkey, Brandon Dittmer in the 83. You got yourself a modified paint scheme, buddy.
Yes, sir. About time, too.
About time. That Tim Sears Jr. Scheme was a little bit bad luck for you, I guess. No offense.
Hasn't been great luck.
No offense to Timmer. No offense to Timmer. I like Timmer. Michael Vecchio starting 7th. Bud Molyneux, no call to the grid. Alrighty, Brandon. Best of luck here in Heat 3.
Thank you, Marty.
See if he can make the show. Top 4 drivers in the show. Bottom 4 in the B main. Here we go. Wentz up the hill, trying to clear Rayome for the race lead. That's the case. Slide Job Scotty doesn't look downstairs until now in turn number 3. Schatzer is 3rd. Dittmer and Barker battle for the 4th and final transfer spot. As the Spider Monkey edged out the Bird to Beast there. Top 4 drivers all liking the top shelf right now. Dittmer went middle, may affect his line just a little bit. But still with the advantage over Barker. No, Barker got 4th at the stripe from BD. Ooh, Dittmer though up at the wall. 3 wide for the race lead. Rayome peaked underneath. He may lose 2nd, pops to the Schatzer. He tucks it back in line. Back to P4, on board with Dittmer. Rayome looking low, then goes up the hill. Trying to search for real estate, but just nothing doing there. We're halfway home in Heat 3. Oh, just got the rear end there with that. Again, this is for the final transfer spot into the feature. Logan Wentz, meanwhile, quickest car on track at a 14.20. He's pulled away to a 0.4 of a second lead on Scott Rayome. Dittmer edged out Barker for 4th at the line. 2 laps to go in the heat. And he's got him clear. Let's go back up to 2nd. As Schatzer trying to find a way to get past Rayome. White flag is out on the final lap. It's been all Logan Wentz in heat race number 3 so far. Will be the highest starting FTM driver off at turn number 4. Wentz wins the heat. Rayome 2nd, Schatzer 3rd, Dittmer 4th. They're in the show. Barker 5th, Butterfield 6th, Vecchio 7th, and no call for Molyneux, who finishes 8th. Nice heat race there. Nice job getting past Barker. That was some good racing.
Yeah, I gave myself a couple scares there getting into the wall. And one time I just didn't want to turn going into the corner. I was like, oh no.
Yeah, that you did. So, moving on to heat race number 4 for the Top Notch Trucking Open 358 mods. Kyle Root making his Coast to Coast Racing League debut on Monday nights on the pole. Monday Night Madness debut next to, I believe, this man also making his Monday night debut. Mike Brewer in the 390. Row 2, Brian Dickens, he's in the 122. Next to him, the Philly Flyer, Trevor Giroux in the 075. Row number 3, it's the Mayor, Steve Bixler in the 75. Next to Jake the Snake Henry in the 171. Final row, Glenn Sharp, he's in the 99. Next to the man doing it for Dale in the 21, John DeBias, also making his Monday Night Madness debut. What is that on his side? Oh, nope, I thought for a moment that was one of those student driver, please be patient signs. But I like the number on Tobias. I gotta admit, he's got the Dale, and I think that's supposed to be an Angel wing, I think. Either that or that's supposed to be the IMS wing.
I believe that is an Angel wing.
That's pretty damn cool, that's for sure. So, 3 of the 8 drivers here making their Monday Night Madness debut. Will one of them put her on the pole? About to find out as Brewer and Root bring us to green. Top 2 first-timers side by side, making their way through 3 and 4 as Brewer leads the opening lap. Drew on the back bumper of that 27 for P2. Dickens 4th. He's got Jake Henry right next to him. The 122 trying to clear the snake in turn 3. Drew gets sideways in front of Dickens. And the Philly Flyer was running 3rd. Says hello, B-Main, Brandon.
That's unfortunate. Just a self-inflicted wound there, and just icing on top of the cake. Brian Dickens plowing into him, unfortunately.
Pull up a replay here and show you what happened. Just like contact, all is good. Ooh, he caught the Uke tires there. That's what happened. So it's Brewer, Root, your top 2. Henry in 3rd. I think you're right. And John Tobias in 4th. So how about that? 3 of the 4 debutants in a transfer spot right now. That is awesome to see.
That is absolutely incredible to see.
And how about Jake Henry in the 171 too? This is a driver who we would have thought would be in the B-Main. No, he's having a great run right now.
Absolutely fantastic run by Jake here, going from 6th to 3rd, mainly because of that little contact. As Brian Dickens makes a little more contact there in the back.
Dickens in the 6th position. Glenn Sharp trying to chase down Tobias. The final transfer spot, 1/4 of a second separate your 4th and 5th place drivers. We'll see if Sharp sends it. Final lap underway. Here's your battle though for the heat win. Brewer or Root. Brewer defends downstairs, throws the slider line. Can Root come back and cross over? Off for 4, he can't. Brewer takes the win. Battle for 4th here at the end. It's Tobias over Sharp. So we have got 2/3 of the field set. 16 drivers are in. We just need 8. So we'll have 16 drivers in this. Half the field will make it in. This is going to be crazy here, Brandon.
This is going to be absolutely wild. 10 laps and all-out brawl. This might end up being an enduro. Coming to the final laps.
This is going to be a war. That's what it's going to be. Here's the lineup. Go ahead.
Starting 5th, Mr. Isaac Salas.
Here's the lineup
battle
for how the B-Main looks. It's Greg Parmalee on the pole in the 4. Next to him, Mike Weida in the 81. Row 2, the Brewer to Beast. Jeff Barker in the 513 and Glenn Sharp in the 99. Row 3, Slide Job. Isaac Salas in the 5 and Harold Klump in the 2. And in row 4, Butters. Jason Butterfield in the 93 and Brian Dickens the 122. Rounding out the top 10, Donovan Ross Devel in the 5, but no call from Keith Jackson to grid. Supposed to start 10th. So the outside row moves up. Row 6, Michael Vecchio and Bob DeGood. Steve Bixler moves up to 10th. Row 7, Randall Dixon and Trevor Giroux. Bud Molyneux now making his way out on the grid after no showing for his heat. He starts in 15th. I would have loved to see Keith Jackson run in this B-Main tonight, that's for sure. Run in this feature and see if he can make a good charge.
It looks like he must have disconnected after his heat.
I wonder if he's getting ready for sprint cars tonight.
Oh, maybe.
Because he's won I believe he's won the last 2 Rebels races. Anyway, we'll focus on the 8th place driver after lap number 1. This is about to be a monstrous fest underway for the B-Main. 3 wide for the lead. 4 wide mid-pack. Oh, the final transfer spot. Steve Bixler, what's going on? That was 4 wide for 8th as Vecchio gets sideways, but Molyneux collected in it. This could be what this B-main represents. A lot of good, hard racing here, Brandon. Look at all this stuff going on.
We're 3 wide all over the track.
Jeez.
You're in the transfer. Stop.
Are we at Cedar Lake? Are we at Talladega? Bixler looking for an insurance spot on Harrow Clump. Bob DeGood is spun in the background. This is getting wild. Oh no, what was that? Parmalee! It's gone.
Oh no.
Hit the wall and put her to pit road. He'll have to focus on Rebels. We're on lap number 4. Brian Dickens took advantage. Oh, Guida sideways. They were 5 wide across the line. Everybody for now hanging on. Dixon, I spoke too soon, hits Clump, and one in the wall. That's the Bandit.
And he has a broken tire. He is done. Oh, 2 more around in turns 3 and 4.
Glenn Sharp now is Donovan Ross and Bud Molyneux, I believe. Glenn Sharp with a final transfer spot, and he's got some breathing room. 1.7 seconds on Harrow Clump here, Brandon.
Yeah, he's just watched everything happen, worked right on through it, and said, thank you very much. I'll coast and take my way to the A main.
By the way, Isaac Salas is your leader here in this B main, in case you missed it.
I would love to say I'm shocked, but I'm really not.
Yeah, I'm not shocked either. Jason Butterfield going for second on the Brewerton Beats, using the high side, trying to do what BD did against Barker. Best battle on the track with 2 laps to go. Sharp still with the final spot in. 1 second advantage on Harrow Clump. Oh, Clump sent it too deep. That may be it for the deuce. Final lap here underway in the B main, and it's Isaac Salas who started 5th. Makes his way through turns 3 and 4. Arlen, aka Gramps, will be pumped up, and Salas wins. Barker 2nd, Butterfield 3rd, Dickens 4th, Bixler 5th, Giroux 6th, Weeda 7th, Sharp 8th. They're all in the show. Clump, DeGood, Devo, Vecchio, Molyneux, Dixon, Parmalee, Jackson. Bye-bye. So preliminary actions for the Open 358, sponsored by Top Notch Trucking, are in the books. When we come back, featured time, but first, a little upcoming preview of our next charity race. Getting set to go for our Open 358 feature at Cedar Lake Speedway. Isaac Salas, the quickest at 14:295, followed by Michael Vitale, 14:36, Sam Bachman, 14:38, Kurt Schatzer, 14:41, and Mike Brewer, 14:43. Well, if you're watching live tonight on the Coast to Coast Racing Network, let us know who you're rooting for in chat. Again, we appreciate you joining us here on this Monday night. It's depressing. It's a depressing Monday night for me. I don't know about you, Brandon.
Sorry, what was that? I was getting talked to you through race chat.
Oh, it's a depressing Monday night for me. You probably know why. I don't know how it is for you.
Unfortunately, I do know why, and I'm not too happy about it either. But
yes, it's making the big game, because we can't say the other thing on a broadcast, less fun. So, but anyway. First feature of the night. Here's the RSN trackside starting lineup. On the pole, the jokester Michael Vitale in the 213 and the general Andy Patton in the 87. Row 2, Logan Wentz in the 118 and Mike Brewer in the 390. Row number 3, the Ant-Man, Anthony Morano in the 32 and Sam Bachman in the 007. Row 4, Slide Job Scotty, Scott Riome in the 4 and Kyle Root in the 27. Rounding out the top 10, Putt-Putt, Clay Christopherson in the 51, and Kelly Wheeler in the 110. Row number 6, Superman, Kurt Schatzer in the 218, and Jake the Snake Henry in the 171. Row number 7, Mason Hine in the 89, and Craig Bristol in the 39.93. Row number 8, the Spider Monkey, Brandon Dittmer in the 83, and John Jabias in the 21. Rest of the field looks like this. Row 9, Isaac Salas, Jeff Barker. Row 10, Jason Butterfield, Brian Dickens. Row 11, Steve Bixler, Trevor Giroux. Final row, Mike Weeda and Glenn Sharp this evening. Picks to win. Who do you got?
Oh boy. Isaac might be behind me, but he is one to drive through this field in a matter of 30 laps or less. So give me Isaac.
You go, Isaac. Give me Vitale to go back to back. So, anyway, good luck tonight. We'll see how you can do, Brandon.
Thank you.
Steve King Foundation pace car pulls on to pit road. Field set for the first. Flatline Racing Bodies, green flag. Time to shake and bake for the first time tonight. It's time to get it on. Man, one driver sideways. That was the 39 of Brewer as Vitale's got the lead over Logan Wentz. Andy Patton. One driver has crashed up in the wall. That, I believe, is Bristol in the 39.93. If he could get that car towed to the pits, we'll stay green, and that's the case. Side by side for second, the FTM teammates. Look at Scott Riome already up 5 positions in 2 laps up to P2. Up with the wall went Mike Brewer as he battles with Kurt Schatzer. They were just about 4 wide off the corner for a moment. Back up near the front, Wentz trying to hang on to that second spot from Slide Job Scotty. He's got Pat in behind him and same with Putt-Putt, Clay Christopherson, 3 FTM drivers all together in this race for P2. The General trying to thread the needle in that number 87 ride. Quickest car on track, the man of night, Sam Bachman, 14:49. Isaac Salas right behind him, though, in the 5, who's up 7 spots early. Putt-Putt going for third. Good chance at off of turn 2, and he takes it for the 118. Wentz trying to cross over underneath, show the nose open, but couldn't get anything done of it. Brewer, meanwhile, up to fit past the General. And I know we'll be focused on Rebels tonight, that's for sure. Where he has podiumed in the last 2 races, looking for that victory. Off to a good start, but started second. He's down to 6'3". Why? Kurt Schatzer threading the needle on Patton. Oh, and Mason Hine, he threads a hole just in front of Sam Bachman. Close calls there. Putt-Putt, closest, quickest car on track now, 14:39 as we work lap number 9. He follows his teammate Scott Riome as they look to close in on Michael Vitale. He's led every lap so far. Gap is at 0.7 of a second. In fact, let's pull up the 5-lap average for the first time tonight. Show you who the quickest car on track is. We may not actually, we won't. As first yellow of the night waves here on, it's for Kelly Wheeler in the 110. We're gonna replay here, loaded up for you. Take a look. Going into turn 1. Wheeler was somewhere outside the top. Oh, Bachman got sideways right in front of Wheeler. A lot of contact in the back of the pack, that's for sure. Take a ride on board with Wheeler. He'll have a better idea of what happened with Bachman. I think either he got up the wall or got into Schatzer. Look at the right of your screen here. Oh, we can't get a good idea of it. Let's try out that 5-lap average here once again real quick as this starts to update. Top 3 cars just about dead even. Vitali, Rayom, Christofferson. We come back to green here. Contact between the top 2. Rayom spins out from the front row and we got a big one. Butterfield, Weeda, Giroux. And that will cost Rayom big dividends because he lost spots before crossing the line. I wonder at the same time if this could penalize anyone on that outside row. There it is. Yeah, could that penalize Logan Wentz possibly? Because he passed to the inside prior to taking the green. I would have to guess that would be a clear because he was avoiding a wreck. Take a ride on board with Rayom. Yeah, just some contact there between him and Vitali. And wild ride there. I think that was Andy Patton that got caught up in that too. Go on board here with Mike Weeda. Final on board here before we go green. Nowhere to go. Just pile drove the 4. So we'll try this again. This time Clay Christofferson on the outside of the front row. Ready to come back to the green flag here on lap number 11. Late restart by Vitali here. We're back to green and much cleaner. Opens up a good gap there on Christofferson. Look at Mike Brewer looking underneath for P2. Christofferson, though, wants the lead on the Jokester as they're side by side. From the aerial shot, that time it was Vitali. Brewer may try to make it 3 wide off at 2. He can't. He's focused on the race. Look at Isaac Salas up 12 spots in 5th. He's getting involved in the party. Jason Butterfield up 11 and 8th. Christofferson switches upstairs, trying to get a good run on corner exit against the 213. Worked a little bit. Salas, contact with Wentz, backed out of it. Christofferson with the edge on corner exit. Vitali good on corner entry. You're on board with the 51 for the race lead. Salas, meanwhile, up to 4th. Contact with a 39. He's up to 3rd. Caution flag, though, waves for Andy Patton. That'll likely wave off the 3rd spot, maybe the 4th, too. And that it will. And the general has told her to the pits. A look at what happened to Andy. Just lost it. Spun her into the infield. There wasn't even any contact from behind until there, I believe. Not the yellow you want if you're Isaac Salas. You had just about made a 2-for-1 discount to go up to third. Unfortunately, that does not pay off. So we are halfway home, 15 up, 15 down. Vitaly's led every lap so far. We are single file for the rest of this race as we come back to green, this time by.
Green flag, green flag.
Vitaly able to hold serve. Brewer trying to get a run around the outside. Salas low on Wentz for P4. How about it? 3 drivers up at least 10. Brought him up earlier. Salas up 12. Butterfield up 12. Dickens up 12. Salas trying to slide job Logan Wentz. Didn't have the momentum to do that for the lead. Contact between Christopherson and Vitaly. Pup laner smooth. Trying to get a birdie off at turn number 2. They are wheel to wheel for the lead. Mike Brewer following suit. Just hoping the top 2 come to blows. Christopherson has a win earlier this season, just like Vitaly. Good exit from the 51 on the Murano line, but a good exit as well from Vitaly. 2 great race cars dueling at it for the win with 11 laps to go. Make it 3 with Brewer having a heck of a run in his coast-to-coast return. Christopherson good through 3 and 4. Can he get the lap of the line? Yes, he can. New leader with 10 to go. And now the slider from Christopherson. He's trying to pull away, turn the afterburners on. Brewer going for P2. Big race for P4. Look at Schatzer. Where'd he come from? Same with Brian Dickens. Slide job from Superman. Crossover. Far wide contact. And the wall goes Schatzer. Logan Wentz caught a piece of it. Schatzer's lost the right front. We go to yellow with 8 to go. This is getting intense at the end, folks. Here's the look. Slide job. Oh, yeah, just a lot of pinballing, close racing. Bunch of drivers just trying to fight for the same piece of real estate. Great camera work as well there in turn number 3 as you ride on board with Superman. Alrighty. 7 laps. Check that, 8 laps to go when we take the green. Top 2 looking for win 2 of the season. Here we go. Battle for 4th. Salas low on Wentz. Dickens trying to go around the outside of that number 5. Contact up the hill goes Dickens. And that could cost him for hard charger. Because right now Butterfield and Dickens each up 13. While Salas is up 12. Advantage Butters for that spot. As he's up to 6. He's looking for his best finish of the season. Battle for the race lead. Vitaly tried looking low. Didn't work. 6 laps to go. Another look at the 5-lap average. 3rd and 1st, your quickest cars on track. Up the hill went Vitaly, lost some time to Brewer. As he goes in deep with 5 to go. And now the 51, trying to turn on the afterburners. Salas, I think he got yeeted out of the way by Logan Wentz, who moves up to 4th. Salas trying to still get in this this hard charge party. He's now up 13. More banging doors into turn 3. They ain't afraid to trade some paint, that's for sure, with 3 left. Salas trying to cut off the 118. He gets sideways. Hang on, Logan. He ain't going to be too pleased with that. Oh, up the wall. Look out. That's tight. Someone got squeezing around. Oh, no. That's the 27 of Kyle Root. And hold the phone. We've got a yellow. We're going to overtime. We will have 2 laps of racing to go. I'm not sure if it'll be an overtime. We're going to be in regulation. Just got squeezed up by the snake. Just got bit. Not the way the debut wanted to end for Kyle Root. Thought he had the lane there, and he was there. Just closed up on him. Alrighty. Lights go out this time by. This is going to be our first of 2 overtime attempts. Christopherson and Vitali each looking for win number 2 of the season. I believe it's been a while since we've seen Mike Brewer. And he's looking for his first win of the season, I would say. Would have to go deep into the stats, that's for sure. Alrighty, y'all, here we go. Green, white, checkered. If we get a yellow before the white, we'll have 1 more attempt. Putt gets a freebie lap with it being a single file restart. Vitali stays on the spoiler of the 51. Salas, good exit off for turn 2. He's trying to go for 3rd. Brewer trying to get the exit as well, just like Salas. White flag waves, final lap underway at Cedar Lake. And out in front, it's Clay Christopherson in the Full Throttle Motorsports. Mellow yellow, number 51. Vitali tries to send it in. He cannot. Checkered flag. Clay Christopherson gets win 2 of the year. Vitali 2nd. Brewer 3rd. Salas, your hard charger, in 4th. And Wentz in 5th. Salas, Butterfield, Dickens, each up 13 this evening. A lot of great stuff happening here tonight, that's for sure. Christopherson wins by 3.5 tenths. Again, Butterfield and Dickens up 13 spots tonight. Nice charge for Mason Hine as well. One of his best finishes in Open 358's up 5 tonight. Looking through 11 through 20. Barker up 7. Bixler up 9. Scott Realm, unfortunately, could not make the recovery after being involved in that accident on the front row. I think Trevor Giroux wanted to get to the finish line there off of turn 4. And there's the rest of the field. Anthony Morano had some packet lost. Can confirm that for you. Just got to get the rest of the top 3 on in here. Again, if you're waiting for Rebels, that is coming up next. So we don't have Brewer. We're going to go to victory lane immediately. We're going to talk right with the race winner as we wait for Brewer. Let's go to Clay Christopherson. Putt, a great win for you. Take me through that pass in the end on Vitali.
It was just kind of waiting for the right moment. He was running the line. I was running and then experimenting around. I could get side by side, but I couldn't fully get the pass. And he had one little slip up where he pushed about half a lane up, and I was able to get that lane and didn't look back.
Were you just taking time trying to set up the pass as well at the same time?
Yeah, I was kind of exploring around on where I could get a drive off and where that line is more dominant and find its weaknesses. And yeah, the car was a little loose at first, but she started sticking up pretty good in the middle.
Well, you came in third in the points with Bachman finishing 10th, Morano finishing in last. That definitely gives you a good feeling. I mean, I know we got 2 drafts, but I believe that should give you the points lead going on in with a couple races left to go, although I know you're not thinking about points right now at the moment and with this many amount of races left to go. But, hey, you got the win. Who do you want to give shout-outs to?
I want to thank you guys for putting this on. All the guys at FTM. It's been a blast racing with them over the couple of years. And Swan Speed Shop for 358 and big block setups.
Alrighty, man. Well, congratulations on the win. Second one of the Open 358 season. And hopefully we're talking to you again in Rebels.
I'll be there. Thank you.
Alrighty, there you go. Clay Christopherson taking the win. And let's go to the man that finished in P2 tonight.
You had me in 1 and 2.
Oh, sorry, Michael. We got to bring you on in here. What happened from your perspective, and what more did you need for Clay in those final few laps?
I needed to be a little easier on the throttle. Spun the tires a few times. I gave that opening to him. He jumped right on it. He earned that. And you know, once I spun the tires and he got on it, I had to lift a little bit and tuck in behind. So just a little throttle control I got to work on.
I do need to ask you as well, from your perspective, what happened on that restart along with Scott Rayome?
You know what? I really don't. I honestly don't know if I came up and hit him. If he came, I honestly don't know what happened.
Understand.
And if I did come up in him, I do apologize to him, because Scott, I would never race Scotty like that.
Well, hey, another great run for you after that win last week. Who do you want to give shout-outs to?
I want to give a shout out to everybody at the Vitale Motorsports, my teammates, Billy Roberts over at Gears Unlimited, Randy, Jake, you for doing the broadcast coast to coast, for giving us a place to run each week, Top Notch Trucking for sponsoring. That's about it.
Alrighty, man. Great job tonight. Congratulations on another good run.
Hey, I appreciate it.
That'll definitely help out the jokester towards points. And now we round out the podium with Mike Brewer in the 3390. If I could ask you to unmute your mic. First off, where in the hell have you been? It's been a while. I thought it was your debut first, but then I realized, oh, wait, I've recognized that name.
You know, I've been meaning to join, and I can't tell you how many messages I have in my inbox for with Roger, and just never got around to it. But the other day, the guys over at FTM, they got me back into it. So
nice. Well, hey, what a run for you. Staying consistent up near the front. Take me through it as a whole.
Oh, that was a lot of fun. And early in the race, I didn't think I would have had anything, especially for Clay. But as the race went on and it got slicker, the car actually started to feel faster. Like, I set my fastest lap time, I think, on like lap 22. So we kept having those cautions, but the way that the track was working in, that slide line there in 3 and 4, that was pretty fast.
Well, hey, I gotta tell, I think from my perspective, if it were not from that Heat 4 win, we probably would not be talking about you right now with all the insane racing that was happening outside the top 5.
It sounded like a mess back there.
Well, hey, you got it done, though. On the podium, who do you want to give shout-outs to?
Oh, thanks to you guys and you for broadcasting this, and just glad to be back, you know, having it aired. Everybody watching. It was a great race. Congrats to Clay, Mike there. It's a good race.
Well, great to have you back, sir. Great to have you on the podium as well. Well done tonight. Congrats on a great run.
Thanks, sir.
Mike Brewer rounding out your top 3 here this evening. And with that being said, we will step aside and go to break. When we come back, Rebels time, the Coast to Coast Racing Network. it's time for another edition of RSN Trackside, powered by Bob Johnson Auto Group on Rock Sports Network. Gets on the champion, trying to be a
Bit of a hiatus, so let's get.
Right when we talked about it.
Outpouring of love was amazing. These dollars had come together to support us, and we realized no, we didn't want to use them for us. We wanted to use them to help others.
The foundation has done so much for so many people. It helps any family that has somebody, whether it be a crew member or one of the drivers, that get hurt. We can help them to get through the situation.
I was injured in an on-wing sprint car accident that broke my neck and left me with a spinal cord injury. I was in the hospital 8 months, and that got really, really expensive, so having that extra help to help push me and my family forward was a big deal.
I was involved in a pretty gnarly sprint car crash. Found out my brain was swelling and bleeding. Pelvic bone was broken. I had 2 cracked vertebrae on my back, and I was in the ICU a little over a week. The Steve King Foundation reached out to my parents. We received a donation from them. Immediately, they started me on what's called neurofeedback, and insurance did not cover the neurofeedback appointments. So we received another donation from the Steve King Foundation. It really helped a lot, and I just want to say thank you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart to the Steve King Foundation for everything that they have done for me. This last Sunday, I got to turn laps in my modified here. That was my first laps back in a race car since the accident, and I truly believe that if it wasn't for the Steve King Foundation, I wouldn't be able to do that or be where I'm at today.
Yes, Steve's death is the reason the foundation exists, but it's Steve's life, and it's the lives of racers everywhere, is the reason we're able to do the work we do.
Welcome back to the Coast to Coast Racing Network as we're getting ready to go here for Rebels action. And the Rebels, as always, brought to you by our friends at RaceMed. Marty Scala with you alongside Brandon Dittmer. As always, this is our developmental league getting ready for the Renegades. And it's been a lot of fun to watch so far early on in the year. And we've got, I believe, our biggest field of the year so far at 17 Rebel drivers.
I love to see a bigger field in the Rebels. It's been a while since we've had, I think, 17 in the Rebels, you said? It's been a little while, and that's kind of saddening, but glad to see that starting to pick back up.
I believe so. Justin Welch was checking in earlier, rooting for Brewer. Happy to see him finish in third. And same for Dino, who is actually home. And we hear he will be debuting a brand new paint job tonight. I'm looking forward to seeing that is. And he says it's a fade to purple sprint. I like the fade to paint schemes. I don't know what it is.
What number is this, Dean? Number 120 for the schemes?
I don't know. All I know is that Harold's got a lot more than he does.
You think so? Dean has quite a bit.
I don't know. I'd love to have a contest on who's got more paint schemes, either Dean or Harold.
Let's do this, boys. Count them up, send them in.
Yep, absolutely. Show me your paint schemes. Show me your history on trading paints. Send them over. Hey, who knows? May give them something for free, too. Kim checking in as always, rooting for Venom and Isaac. And we got the mad scientist in rooting for Putt Putt. Alrighty, racetracks and sunsets. Gonna have 2 to 3 heats for you this evening. Who will be the first car on track we watch here? We'll keep the Bassman on here. Roger Craig in the 747, having a good season so far. Second in points. Actually, let's pull up your top 5 with drops in effect. Andy Patton currently leads off of back-to-back top 5s by 11 on Roger Craig. Joseph Grandy third, 13 back. Donna Ross is 421 back, and a tie for 5th between Dylan Berg and Dan McLaren. The Bassman sets the bar on lap number 1, but Pat Boyce could answer it back here, though. Craig 12:75, and that the 41 does. Quick time, Keith Jackson, though, 12:38. Boyce second, Grandy third, Patton fourth, Steve Bixler in 5th. Here comes Jackson off of turn number 4. Patton improves, 12:44 to second. Do we see anyone pull up in the purple? We do with Putt Putt. Clay Christopherson in the green, though, 12:43 on lap number 1. How does he look on lap 2? Don't see him in the green right now. He's got to pull up here on lap 2. Couldn't tell how that lap went. 12:55 on lap 2. One driver remains to qualify, and that is the Goose, Chad Cote, in car number 11. Well, not a pole lap here on lap number 1. He goes 4th, 12:55. Good lap for the Goose so far. In the green in Sector 1. How's he look in Sector 2 this time? Is this better? We'll see. It's going to be close. It is. 12:46 stays 4th. But it's Keith Jackson, your quick timer in qualifying by 2/10 just about at a 12:26. What a lap, Brandon.
Yeah, Keith's always been fast, man. I remember following that tail tank for the whole season. What was it, a year ago, I think it was? I'm glad he is back in full force.
Alrighty. 2 heats this evening. This will determine our inside row for our RaceMed 350. Our RaceMed Rebels. Heat 1 brought to you by Gambler Motorsports, official team of Coast to Coast. Joseph Grandy, 100 grand on the pole in the 518. Next to him, it's Pat Boyce in the 41. Row number 2, the General, Andy Patton in the 87. I'm Keith Jackson in the 113. Row 3, the Captain, Gary Taylor in the 34. Next to him, Cale Bixler in the 789. Row number 4, the Bassman, Roger Craig in the 747. And Steve Maurer in the 888. Final car on the grid, Devo Donna Ross in the 5. He starts from position number 9. I swear, I don't know if it's just me. This looks like half Salty Dogs versus half of the Young Guns, or half the Retreads versus half Young Guns.
That looks about right.
Looks like Steve King Foundation Pace Truck will go 1 extra lap before we go green. Moments away from going green. Again, let us know who you're rooting for here. This is determining the inside part of the roads this evening. Winner is on pole position. Green flag is out for Heat 1. Good start for Grandy. Keith Jackson trying to go high, wide, and handsome on Pat Boyce in turns number 3 and 4. Maybe even on Andy Patton. Does he have it? Oh, no! Boyce goes up the wall and he's in the pits.
Those Kale Bixler just jumped the turns 1 and 2 wall as well.
Oh, yeah, same thing just happened with Kale, too. Get a couple replays in just a moment. Now Keith is gone. Now he's flipped it. How about the captain, Gary Taylor, here? Up to third, Brandon. I think you were just talking about him.
Yeah, he came up going into 1, got Keith Jackson there, and fortunately sent him upside down. Here
Roger
comes
Craig
Roger.
looking low for P3. Let's show you a couple of replays here real quick while the action is a little bit quiet. This is Kale. You saw what happened with Boyce. Kale with some contact with Roger Craig, and he goes out of the ballpark. Then another angle of what happened with Keith Jackson. Trying to get by Gary Taylor, but the captain slammed the door right in his face.
Donovan Ross around. Oh, Grandy around.
Oh, man. Taylor nearly caught a piece of that one as well. Devo hung on to it. Grandy, I don't know what happened with him. He just jumped right to the pits. Meanwhile, the checkers wave, and for this third straight week, I believe it is, Andy Patton is on the front row. He starts on pole. Ross second. Craig third. Taylor fourth. Maurer fifth. Grandy sixth. Jackson 7th, Kale Bixler 8th, and Boyce 9th. When we get to Heat 2, we'll pull up the replay, show you what happened to Grandy. We'll do that right now.
Oh, it just... Oh, this wheel disconnected.
Yep, same thing happened a couple weeks ago at Port Royal while he was leading too, Brandon.
Yep, I've had that happen to me before with this new wheel, and it is not fun.
Does he have the same wheel as you?
That's a good question. I do not know.
Grandy, I know you normally watch. Text us what wheel you got as we get ready for Heat 2, brought to you by Regency Home Inspections. Well, what wheel do you have?
I have the Fanatics CSL.
Oh, the DD?
Yeah.
Okay. So, Gary Offutt, Nick Schell on the front row. Row number 2, the Goose, Chad Cote, and Putt Clay Christofferson. Row number 2, the Mayor, Steve Bixler in the 75, and Mason and Greg Parmalee, correction, in the 4. Row 4, John DeBias in the 21, and Mason Hine in the 89. Brad White checking in, rooting for Inferno Motorsports. As we get ready to go racing. Here we go for the green to determine the outside portion of the grid. Good jump from Gary Offutt. Cote and Shell wing to wing for P2. Shell up in the wall, top wing gone. Steve Bixler, Greg Parmalee battle for 4th on track, and for the lead, here comes the Goose. Offutt fighting back though here, Brandon.
Yeah, Chad Cote is going to be aggressive, but he's going to be very patient.
Look at
Putt. Here comes Clay.
He wants the Kmart 2-for-1 discount special. He's up to second, can't get first yet, so no blue light discount for him just yet. Everybody in the
chomping at the bit.
Everybody in the show, no matter what. It's Christofferson sets up turn number 3. You on board with Putt. Let's go to the race for 4th. Bixler versus Parmalee. The Mayor playing some good defense for right now. 3 to go here in Heat 2. Parmalee trying to get a run underneath, but losing some time. Ooh, almost had it there for just a second.
Probably kind of running that middle diamond line. Kind of an interesting little line, but it seems to slowly be working for him. Just probably not as much time as he wants.
Final lap underway for Chad Cote, the lone Canadian, taking out the Americans with a 1 second lead on Clay Christopherson. Cote the Goose wins Heat 2, correction. Christopherson second, off at third, Steve Bixler fourth, Greg Parmalee fifth, Tobias sixth, Shell seventh, and Hein eighth. Well, we are ready to go racing. 3-minute warm-up, but first, a look at Speed Weeks. Warm-up's just about finished up here for Rebels. Joseph Grandy the quickest, they're 12:62. Keith Jackson second, 12:70. Andy Patton third, 12:79. Chad Cote fourth, 12:80. Donovan Ross fifth, 12:83. As the sun continues to set. We are all ready to go for Rebels feature. Remember, top 5 move up to Renegades. As long as your IL is under the requirement for Renegades. Or under the requirement in Rebels that can allow you to move up to Renegades. Here we go. 30 laps around Cedar Lake. Here's the RSN trackside starting lineup. On the pole, the General, Andy Patton in the 87. Next to him, the Goose, Chad Cote in the 11. Row number 2, Devil, Donovan Ross in the 5, and Putt Clay Christopherson in the 51. Row 2, the Bassman, Roger Craig in the 747, and Gary Offutt in the 94. Row 4, the Captain, Gary Taylor in the 34, and the Mayor, Steve Bixler in the 75. Rounding out the top 10, Steve Maurer in the 888, and Greg Parmalee in the 4. Row 6, $100,000, Joseph Grandy in the 518, and John DeBias in the 21. Row 7, Keith Jackson in the 113, and Nick Shaw, in the 96. Row number 8, Cale Bixler in the 789, and Mason Hein in the 89. Rounding out the grid is Pat Boyce in the 41. No call for Joseph Grandy on the grid. I'm going to guess he is still having issues with his wheel.
He actually just dropped because of a packet loss.
Ah, so things are getting even worse. Man, that's a tough break for a man on the top 5 in points. So, picks to win tonight. Give me Clay Christopherson. I'm going to give him a chance at the Triple Crown this evening.
I like that. I like that. I'm going to go a little further back. Give me that white and the red, number 113. Give me Keith.
You go Keith Jackson from the back.
Yep,
That's a
I'm
good
going to
pick,
watch him.
too.
I'm going to watch him pull through this field.
Alrighty, we'll see what happens. As we're ready to go for the Flatline Racing Bodies green flag for the second time tonight, it is time to shake and bake. Patton and Cote, bring us to green. It's time to get it on. What a jump from the General on Cote and Ross. Off at 4, Patton leads the lap. Battle for third. Devo and Christopherson. Roger Craig rounds out the top 5 with Gary Offit on his tail. Christopherson looking for that run for P3. Let's see if he gets it. Pretty good in the low line, but remember, it's a sprint car, not a modified this time, Brandon.
Big adjustment, but here he's going to stay right there with Devo as of right now. That middle line's working just fine for him.
Cote, quickest car on track right now, matching leader pace. Now it's Patton, 12:93. Top 2 quickest cars on the track this early on. Look at another good battle here. Keith Jackson, oh my goodness, already up 6 spots past Steve Bixler for the 7th spot. We're only on lap number 5. He is ripping the lip where nobody else is.
The leaders are up there at the top, but that's about it. He is, just go where they aren't is basically what you got to do to get up through this field. He is nailing it.
That's the hot and shield lane. He's the quickest car on track, 12:85. I cannot wait to show you the 5-lap average once we get to lap town on this feature. There he goes past Roger Craig up to 5th. Donovan Ross has gotten the memo. He's switched up to the top. I believe as well at the same time they are teammates, so it is working. Battle for the lead. Here comes Cote underneath on Andy Patton, and he has it. New leader. It's the Goose. Patton fighting back off of turn number 2. Good corner exit from the General.
Cote's just going to take it nice and easy. Don't push anything and just stay alive for the time being.
Patton's got it back as we work on lap number 9. Keith Jackson now through to 4th past Putt-Putt. For right now, though. And now he's got it. Top 5 all eligible. Patton, Cote, Devo, Jackson, Christopherson. And Patton pulling away from Cote after the Goose got side by side with the General earlier on. And now
He's going to bide his time.
And now Jackson is up to his teammate. Let's go with the 5-lap average. I think Devo's letting him go here, possibly. Devo swapped underneath because I believe he knows that Jackson's the quickest car on track in the last 5 laps. Look at it.
It's a good teammate right there.
Jackson up to 3rd. I think that's a good move there by Donovan.
Absolutely. He's just going to rip.
Now,
come on, Keith.
Now, do you want a yellow if you're Keith at this point or no?
I think you want this to stay green. Any yellow from here on out, since he's been ripping that top, is just going to hurt him and his tires. So I think he's just wanting to keep it green.
Ross and Christopherson battle for the 4th spot. Putt-Putt hanging on. Leaders already working on lap traffic. They just put a lap on Cale Bixler. Ooh, Pan got a little sideways there into turn number 3, allowed Cote to close in just a bit. We got a race for the lead brewing here, Brandon. How he got no damage, I don't know. We stay green, though.
Heath knocked down 4/10 of their lead right there on that lap. And he's going to lose a little bit of time on that, but Patton goes low, loses a little bit.
Look at this gap he has put down. Here we go. Cote, high, wide, and handsome off at 4. Patton opened up the lane. The Goose to the lead. Patton's got to get back into shape here. He knows he's got the best sprint car driver on his tail. Let's rework lap number 18. Now this is forcing Jackson to go down to a line where he hasn't gone to yet tonight. Oh, Pat up the wall, though.
He's going to get the position.
Jackson up to 2nd after starting 12th. What are you thinking now if you're the Goose? With all this lap traffic, too. Look at this.
Oh man, they're all in his lane too.
It's gonna get wild. Oh no! You gotta be kidding me!
Oh,
Damn it!
what happened?
John DeBias got in the lane of Chad Cote and around went both of them. And through goes Keith Jackson.
Oh no. What a violent ride.
DeBias got sideways. And I just don't think DeBias expected Cote to go that low. But at the same time, if you're in the lap car, you gotta let him go at that point.
I think that's what he was trying to do, because I think he was looking at his rear view like Chad's running the top. I'm going to get to the bottom, but he made a late decision to get to the bottom. And unfortunately, Chad just was committed to going to the bottom at that point.
That is a violent, violent wreck.
Now, I do have voice chat muted, but I do see in the text, Chad Cote's chat was disabled, so I think he might be in some trouble.
And I can understand his frustration, that's for sure. I think that's all we will say about it.
Chad Cote has left the session.
But now, this race has taken a turn for the good of Keith Jackson. As we come back to the green flag, now he restarts underneath. And Andy Patton timed the restart very well, but Jackson cuts up in front of the 87. Up the hill go both. Here comes Putt Putt for the race lead. He gets the 2-for-1 discount. And Christopherson to the point with 9 laps to go. You called it, Brandon. It was not the yellow Keith wanted.
Am I seeing something? Is Keith's left front damaged?
It is. That left front wing is damaged on that 113. And the leaders are coming to lap traffic. Oh my. This could get interesting. Putt Putt now out in front. 7 laps to go. Jackson trying to chase him down. Steve Maurer, the leaders, leaders go past him. Next car is Gary Taylor. 6 laps remain. Taylor lets the leaders go. Donovan Ross up to 3rd meanwhile. Patton down to 4th. Roger Craig with a final transfer spot. Bailing Gary off front. Couple of cars sideways. That was Mason high in the back of that 89. But we're focused on the battle for the win with 4 laps to go. Christopherson looking for win number 2 of the season. Jackson looking for win 3. Actually, check that. Both drivers looking for win 3 on the year. Putt Putt caught the wall there, Brandon. This could get interesting.
So did Keith. They're mirroring each other inch for inch. Keith gets in the wall one more time.
That's not going to be good. Keith's going to need a yellow.
That might be all she wrote for
Yep,
Keith.
that gap has gone up to 1 second. Here comes Christopherson off for 4. White flag waves. Final lap underway for Putt Putt in the FTM number 51. No mistakes through 3 and 4 as DeBias goes around. Putt Putt's got a chance at the Triple Crown this evening. Christopherson, your winner again at Cedar Lake. Jackson 2nd. Ross in 3rd. Patton 4th. And Roger Craig in 5th. They're all eligible to advance pending IL. Everyone else, please just hit the watch button.
So I took a second to go back and look at what happened to Keith. Under caution, I think it was the 21. He was kind of doing something funky, trying to get back up to get to the pits, and Keith couldn't tell where he was going, and Keith unfortunately just kind of ran right into him.
Well, let's go to that then and show you what happened. We're going to go back from the yellow here. We'll go to Jackson. I will give it up for the drivers, though. Only 1 caution in this race, which is great to see.
That's fantastic.
as we get ready for Renegades in just a moment. Let's see here. Yeah, I think Jackson thought Tobias was going to go, but then he didn't. That's what led to that contact, and I wonder if that's what hindered his progress for the rest of it. But top 5 eligible to advance. Jackson, great run for him, up 11 spots. We show you the rest of the field here on your screen. And I think we are ready to go with your top 3. And that is the case. So we'll bring in our 3rd place finisher, and that, of course, is Donovan Ross, and we will let Brandon take this interview.
Hey, Devo, it's Stipper. You got me?
Loud and clear, Mr. Dittmer. How are we?
Not so bad yourself.
Well, just trying to keep up with the fast guys.
I mean, you put yourself together a solid race there, just staying clean, staying out of the way. What more do you?
Thanks. Jeez, feel like a retread. Just tell me to stay out of the way. No, we had a good race. I know what you're saying there. I needed to clean up my work from the last few weeks. Kind of been like a dart without feathers or a bird without feathers lately. So trying to get it cleaned up, get the IL down, and go into Speed Week maybe with a little bit of momentum and a clearer head than lately.
That Speed Week's next week, isn't it?
I think it's the week after.
Week after. Yeah, that's going to be a big week. But you had a incredible run pulling out of the top 3. A lot of contact happening there, and you were able to keep away from all that.
Yeah, I wasn't sure what happened up in front with Keith and Cote and Andy. I wasn't sure. I didn't see it there. I just was able to clear what had ever happened and then start there on the outside and had a really good restart, but didn't know what to do with the speed that I had on the restart. So I found myself bottlenecked behind Keith and figured I'd probably better off finishing there than running around with my head cut off like normal.
I wish I knew how to do that more often, but
I'm almost 50-year-old son. I ain't gotten easier, so keep trying.
Oh, fantastic, Ron. Who do you got to thank for this?
Oh, Keith and all the guys back in Discord, you guys for keeping on and taking care of the circus, and Roger and everybody behind the scenes, and we'll see you guys later.
You coming up to Renegades?
Oh, God, no. I don't think I have a welcome there after the last time I tried.
Oh, come on.
I don't know. I'll see. I check with the wife.
Sounds good.
He just wants to go to Dingus. That's what he just wants to do.
Yeah, let's go to Dingus.
Marty, you're going to realize, maybe this year, I do have a camping spot again. I will be back. You're going to realize that I don't go to Dingus that much, and I do a lot of my drinking and partying during the day.
The only time I did my drinking was in my hotel room because the only non-alcoholic stuff I could find was in glass.
Well, there's your first problem. But I appreciate.
I don't have a portable cooler to take on an airplane too.
Well, we'll get you dialed in.
Okay, sounds good. All right,
guys. Take care. Thanks.
You too, Devo. See ya.
Yep. Adios.
Adios. All right, that's Donovan Ross, our 3rd place finisher here. Yeah, we'll bring in the man that finished in P2, Keith Jackson. Keith, a tough break for you, man. What more did you need for Clay, and did you expect him to get that big of a run off of turn 2 on that restart?
No, I had my left front got tore up whenever I was pacing around there. I didn't see that car. I was looking down at my fuel and stuff and just ran into that car that was sitting in the middle of the track, and I don't know what it did, but Andy said something about my left front, and it felt like garbage after that. So I tried to catch back up to him, but kept stuffing it in the fence, so I just took where I was, and yeah.
What worked out for you well in this race? I mean, you had a heck of a race car, and I mean, if we don't have that caution flag, I think you're passing Cote for that win.
Yeah, I was hoping it was going to stay green. It sucks for Chad getting a lap car like that, but I was looking forward to catching lap traffic and hoping to race around in that. Just worked out for me, man. Everybody kind of went to the bottom and the middle early on, and I was able to, run around up top and gain a bunch of ground on them.
Who do you want to give shout-outs to?
Devo, Jack, Greg, Gary, and you guys putting this thing on.
Alrighty, man. Well, we'll let you go. Great job tonight. Best of luck in Renegades coming up.
Yep, thanks, buddy.
Keith Jackson finishing in second, and let's go to Victory Lane. We'll talk with them once again. Brandon, you were taking this interview this time with Putt Putt.
Alrighty. Clay, it's Dittmer. You got me?
User.
You know, a fantastic run capitalizing there at a late race restart. What gave you that edge there at the end?
Bottom 100%. It was a gamble, and I'm like, do I fall in line and everyone just runs the top, or do I skim the tires and see what's there right off the start? And the thing was a rocket ship on to get the car up to speed.
Did you see the damage on Keith's car, and did that give you an indication of what you had to do, or no?
I didn't see anything, no. I saw somebody was right behind me, and then they weren't, so I figured some mishap must have happened, but yeah, I didn't see what happened.
He got some damage under that caution there, unfortunately. But no, you ran a great race, ran a nice clean race, and capitalized there at the end. Who do you have to thank for this kind of run today?
You guys for putting this on, all the guys at FTM and Swan Speed Shop for 358 and big block sets.
So are we going to be seeing you in Renegades action?
Yep, I'm in here.
Fantastic.
Cooling off.
Doing what?
I'm cooling off right now.
Cooling off? Well, don't get too cool. You need to stay hot. Give these boys a run for their money.
We're going to try. Thank you, guys.
Yes, sir.
Clay Christopherson taking the win here in Renegades. We will go to break. When we come back, Renegades time on Coast to Coast Racing Network. It's time for another edition of RSN Trackside, powered by Bob Johnson Auto Group on Rock Sports Network. Kiss on the champion. Trying to be a
Bit of a hiatus, so let's get.
Tonight we were talking about it.
outpouring of love was amazing. These dollars had come together to support us, and we realized, no, we didn't want to use them for us. We wanted to use them to help others.
The foundation has done so much for so many people. It helps any family that has somebody, whether it be a crew member or one of the drivers, that get hurt. We can help them to get through the situation.
I was injured in a non-wing sprint car accident that broke my neck and left me with a spinal cord injury. I was in the hospital 8 months, and that got really, really expensive. So having that extra help to help push me and my family forward was a big deal.
I was involved in a pretty gnarly sprint car crash. Found out my brain was swelling and bleeding. Pelvic bone was broken. I had 2 cracked vertebrae on my back, and I was in the ICU a little over a week. The Steve King Foundation reached out to my parents. We received a donation from them. Immediately, they started me on what's called neurofeedback, and insurance did not cover the neurofeedback appointments. So we received another donation from the Steve King Foundation. It really helped a lot, and I just want to say thank you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart to the Steve King Foundation for everything that they have done for me. This last Sunday, I got to turn laps in my modified here. That was my first laps back in a race car since the accident, and I truly believe that if it wasn't for the Steve King Foundation, I wouldn't be able to do that or be where I'm at today.
Yes, Steve's death is the reason the foundation exists, but it's Steve's life, and it's the lives of racers everywhere, is the reason we're able to do the work we do.
Welcome back to the Coast to Coast Racing Network. Glad you could join us here as we prepare for Renegades action here. Brought to you by Flatline Racing Bodies. Marty Scala with you alongside Brandon Dittmer. BD, good car count here tonight with 22 drivers set to take the green.
Absolutely love it. Wish we had 25 so we could send somebody home, but I'll take 22. Put on a good show for everybody.
See who's checking in here in chat. Andy Patton checking in. Wow. That could not have been worse for Chad Cote. Apparently today's his birthday. Hang on, I gotta confirm this.
Oh, stop.
That's what Andy Patton says. Happy birthday, Pro, and Chad says appreciate you.
Oh, you're kidding.
Hang on, I need to look this up. I'm friends. Yep, it's his birthday today.
No way.
Oh my gosh. Wow. Imagine if he won tonight. That would have been pretty damn cool.
Oh, that would have been the greatest victory lane yet. Oh, man.
Alrighty, here we go for qualifying. 2 minutes to set 2 laps. First driver on track. We'll pull up Keith Jackson here. No, I'll actually watch as well. Brennan Lacey in the 114 here in qualifying. Lacey on lap number 1, third quickest. That'll do it for his qualifying as he takes out the wall. Patrick Spangler quickest right now at a 12:06 and a awesome paint scheme. Looking like trying to do a throwback to, I think, either Chad Phelps or Dan Bennett, because that's the X in New York. I don't know. Jack hit quick time. What? 11:09.97 for gentleman Jack hit. He just outbeat Patrick Spangler. Outlived by Stephen Goldner in 11:95. Hey, Stephen Goldner quick time. How about that, though? Good for him. Here's Andy Patton making his way off of turn number 4. Blake Chapman with a better lap coming out. Where's Blake go? Second quick. 11:97 for the salesman. Good lap by him. 2 more drivers working their way onto the track. Here's Tyler Wilson off of turn number 4. He and Jeff Barker. Barker 15th. Wilson 16-18. We'll watch Barker here on lap number 2. Better lap for Wilson. 12:52 to go up to 20th. Barker stays at 15th. So that does it for qualifying. Stephen Goldner the quickest at 11:9:51, followed by Blake Chapman, Jack Hitt, Patrick Spangler, and Andy Patton. So ready to go for first of, I believe, 2 heat races tonight. Heat 1 brought to you by Gambler Motorsports. Here's the starting lineup. The Desert Demon on the pole. Brand new paint job. Terry Landis, the 161. What is that? Is that Jeter? Teeter? I don't know what that is. Next to him, brand new paint job for Dino. Dean Reynolds in the 79 with the purple to black fade. Row 2. The high side banger, Patrick Spangler in the 39, next to Stephen Goldner in the 30. Row 3, the Bassman, Roger Craig in the 747, and the Pink Panther, Jesse X in the 127. Final row, Brad Waite in the 814. Unfortunately, I don't believe Donovan Ross is eligible to race this evening.
He is not.
He tried.
He did try, but nothing gets past old Steven Bixler.
Ooh, a little contact here as we're ready for the green. Winner on pole this evening. Here we go. Good jump from Dean Reynolds. Just about 3 wide for that second position. Goldner trying to go around the outside of Landis, and Spangler gets a little sideways, but it's Dino that leads lap number 1. Goldner will with a very fast race car.
Dean's trying to hold on to that bottom, almost trying to do like a little diamond line, but unfortunately Goldner's just going to run right by him.
He's just too quick, just way too quick. Stephen Goldner. Oh, look at this. 3 wide, look out. Oh, no. Spangler tried to thread the needle and it just wasn't there. Spangler to second, Terry Landis to third, Roger Craig to fourth. How about that? Nice run by the pair of the retreads. Here comes Spangler, though, the high side. Spangler, Dino slammed the door right in his face.
Looks like counter that back with a big slide job.
Dino counters it back. Halfway home in the heat. Another slider for Dean Reynolds, has him clear. Spangler angles it back down. Slide job city at Cedar Lake. Up the hill goes the high side banger. Dean can't get momentum. Spangler leads lap 6.
Goldner trying to limp it around the bottom side.
It's going to be tough. He's trying to see if he can pick up some spots with other cars wrecking, but that's going to be tough. That won't happen. White flags out. Final lap underway. Spangler or Reynolds. Up the hill went both. Spangler trying to guard the bottom. Dino looking for a run. Won't work. The high side banger. It's on the pole. Dino wins the heat. Is that Steven I hear? Oh, man. Steven doing something with the fence.
I saw that. What in the world happened there?
We'll watch for the fun of it in just a moment. Reynolds second, Craig, Atkinson, Landis, Wake, Goldner. That is your top 7. Let's,
Holy cow!
Oh, boy. Should I be scared? Should I be scared?
Don't go on board.
Oh, boy. I'm excited. All right, here we go. Let's look. This car's freaking out. Oh my gosh. You know what? You know what? Now that you said it, I don't care. And you know what?
Oh no. Oh no.
I don't care. I don't care, Brandon. Bullseye. If he landed it, that would have been a perfect 10 out of 10 and would have made the not top 10 on iRacing, but I don't think that'll be the case.
Oh, you want to see when it landed? Go back to my qualifying when we get a chance. Go back to my qualifying there at the end. I did a little tumble myself.
All right.
Let's take a look.
I'll watch after this heat race. Bob DeGood and Keith Jackson, row 1. Andy Patton, Blake Chapman, row number 2. Jack Clevenger, Clay Christopherson, row number 3. Tyler Wilson rounds out the field. Heat 2 brought to you by Regency Home Inspection. Bob DeGood, you can never count him out when he starts on pole, but he's got a lot of fast cars right behind him.
Green, green, green.
Underway here for Heat 2. Good start from Keith Jackson. He leads the opening lap. Bob DeGood still right behind him. Blake Chapman. Oh my! They nearly touched. Keith may have actually caught the wall. Oh boy.
DeGood sent it in there.
Some good racing here. DeGood trying to look low. Jackson shuts the door. Blake Chapman getting to run underneath for P2. Again, the high side, the place to be with these sprint cars right now.
Clay Christopherson gets it a little bit of contact in the back, but he all stay going. Oh, one around! Contact! Clevenger and Wilson.
Yep, Clevenger was able to save it. Same with the Macho Man. Everyone keeps her straight. Keith's opened up the gap to a half second. Side by side for third, Andy Patton. Want to get a run on Bob DeGood. Up the wall he goes for just a moment. And very thin. Oh, boy. Oh, my.
Oh, no.
How did everyone keep it straight? I don't know. Patton caught the wall again. Trying to grab third. DeGood not let him have any of it. He tried to look underneath. The 7 car shut the door. Battle for the win. 1 lap to go here, Brandon.
Looking high, looking low. Where's Blake going to go? Oh, Keith, they're going to run the exact same line. That's tough.
Keith Jackson takes the win. He starts second tonight. Chapman second, DeGood third, Patton fourth, Christopherson fifth, Wilson sixth, and Clevenger seventh. Now moving on to heat race number 3. Oh yeah, I wanted to watch you qualifying, right?
Yeah, you'll have to fast forward a little bit after that finish, but yeah.
All right, we're watching. Please tell me you now. Oh my gosh, you went over the guardrail. Oh, he landed it. He landed it. You better submit that to iRacing. You gotta put that on iRacing. I will help you do it too. Heat 3 brought to you by Maurer Farm Management. John Short, Brennan Lacey make up row number 1. Row number 2, Isaac Salas. And gentlemen, Jack Hitt. Row 3, the Spider Monkey. Brandon Dittmer is inside. Jeff Barker in the 513. Barry Goldner rounds out the field starting 7th. So we're ready to go for our final heat race of the night. Best of luck here, Brandon.
Thank you.
Actually, going to go 1 extra lap here before we go. Nope, actually, we are coming to the green this time by. Green flag set to fly here for our heat race number 3. Good start for John Shore in that 51. Brennan Lacey trying to move up to 2nd. Salas in a good side-by-side battle. It's lap 1 led by Short. Salas trying to get that run underneath, but it's just the high side, just way too good. In a sprint car, Lacey though up on the wall. Salas switches upstairs. Jack Hitt looks low for 3rd. Not get that pass to work though. John Short right now, quickest car on track. 12:39 now make it Brandon Dittmer in 5th at a 12:37 as he is caught. Salas and Hitt for the race for P3. Dittmer though up on the wall again. 3 laps to go in heat race number 3. Oh, Demmer lost the top wing, and he rides the wall. He's out of it. Oh, nope, he's got it back going. That will put him in likely the last starting spot, if not spot in the back for sure. Hit trying the top out on Salas. The 5 car shuts the door. Hit, slide, job. Gentleman Jack did it on Salas. The 5 car trying to go around the outside. Hit with another slider. That could pay off. You know who wins. John Short for 3rd. Salas wasn't taking any of it. Lacey 2nd. Isaac 3rd. Hit 4th. Barker 5th. Goldner 6th. And Dittmer 7th. A great race for P3 in the final laps. But John Short gets it done. Step aside, go to break. When we come back, it's feature time. But first, a look at what our next charity race is in a couple weeks. And we are back here getting ready to go for feature time. Jeff Barker quickest 12:52, Isaac Salas second 12:55, Blake Chapman, Jesse Hexon each third and fourth 12:59, Brendan Lacey, Brad Waite fifth and sixth at 12:63. And so we are set to go racing here with the Renegades. Let us know your picks to win in the chat. Let's meet the field and give you the RSN trackside starting lineup. On the pole, the high side banger, Patrick Spangler in the 39. Next to him, Keith Jackson in the 113. Row 2, John Short in the 51. And Dean Reynolds in the 79. Row 3, the salesman, Blake Chapman in the 20. And Brendan Lacey in the 114. Row 4, the bassman, Roger Craig in the 747. And Bob DeGood in the 7. Rounding out the top 10, slide job, Isaac Salas in the 5, and the Pink Panther, Jesse Atkinson in the 127. Row 6, the General, Andy Patton in the 87, and Gentleman Jack Hitt in the 217. Row 7, the Desert Demon, Terry Landis, the 161, and Putt Putt, Clay Christopherson in the 51. Row 8, the Brute to Beast, Jeff Barker in the 513, and Brad Waite in the 814. Row number 9, the Macho Man, Tyler Wilson, and he's in the 042, and Barry Goldner next to him in the 36. Row 10, Stephen Goldner in the 30, and Jack Clevenger in the 78. In the final row this evening, Brandon Dittmer, the Spider Monkey in the 83, and Devo Diver Ross in the 5. Of course, Devo uneligible to race, so 21 drivers make up the count this evening. Brandon, pick to win. Who you got?
Oh man, there's so many good drivers in this field, but I can't ignore him. The high side banger himself.
You left the door wide open for me. Should have listened to you back in the Rebels, and I did. Keith Jackson wins.
Good pick. It's a good pick.
Going green next time by. Brandon, good luck.
Thank you very much, Marty.
Ready for the Flatline Racing Bodies green flag, as it is time to wing it and bring it. Because where else would you rather be than right here, right now, from coast to coast? It's showtime at Cedar Lake. Good start for Patrick Spangler. Keith Jackson up to second. Dean Reynolds, John Short battle for third. Lap number 1, led by the high side banger. A lot of drivers from the top. Looked like Dino may have actually caught the wall there for just a moment. Here comes Shorty underneath on Jackson for that second position. Can he grab it off at turn number 4? Not just yet. Jackson hangs on. 3 wide for 4th meanwhile. Brendan Lacey in the middle of Blake Chapman and Dean Reynolds. Oh boy! Lacey nearly put Dino up on the wall. 114 Cyrus. Meanwhile, big rock! Jack hit upside down. 3 of them upside down. Solace, one of the cars that flipped. Another driver's lost the wing in the foreground. That looks to be maybe Brad Waite. Wild accident that has just taken place here. At least 5 or 6 cars involved. First caution flag flies just around lap 5. Here's a replay. Really, oh, Solace caught Roger Craig, and we just wrecked a bunch of them. Let's go on board from the Bassman. Ooh. Let's go to Brad Waite. Stacking up the field is ready to go green flag racing this time by. Spangler leads. He selects the bottom. Jackson second. John Short third. Dean Reynolds fourth. Brendan Lacey rounds out the top 5. 4 laps complete in this feature. We're back to green. Spangler holds serve. We're back to yellow. Not too sure why we are back to yellow. I think it may be for Jack Het. Hey, as we got reports, he jumped it to the pits. Came to a stop. Yep, that's what triggered the yellow. I hope race control doesn't consider that an official attempt at the restart. So no, that was just a mistake on Hits Park. He was a little too far out in front. So I hope that they just take another lap up. They don't consider that an attempt. We'll see what they do here. While we wait, to go back to the green flag. Let's tell you what's coming up here the rest of the week on the Coast to Coast Racing Network. Tomorrow night we got retreads Tuesday with 360s at Eldora, trucks at Talladega on Shaggy TV. Hometown Heroes at Huset's, Thursday Night Thunder at Knoxville with small blocks, big blocks, and Pro Late models. Next Monday on Monday Night Madness, we are at Eldora for week 8 of the season, round 7 of the year. Back to the restart, 5 laps complete. Spangler holds serve. Jackson trying to hang on to second. John Short with a run downstairs. Battles all over this racetrack, wherever you see them. Short nearly making contact with Keith Jackson. Wow, Spangler pulling away from all of this. Chapman trying to look upstairs. Ooh, up at the wall he goes. Maybe there's some contact too with Andy Pound at the same time. That Smith Salesman has to back out of it. How about Stephen Golder in that 30 car? He started back in 19th. He's up to 6th. Great charge for the driver, the number 30 tonight. Tyler Wilson, meanwhile, has jumped into the pits. He may have wrecked in turn 1 and gone over the wall. Battle for the bottom step of the podium. Brendan Lacey slide jobs John Short. Both of them actually caught the wall. Short trying to take advantage of it. One man had the advantage and then lost it. So it's back to Deuce. 10 laps in to look at the 5-lap average. Best car on track without question, Patrick Spangler. Second best would have to be either Keith Jackson. Oh, Lacey almost shoved John Short on the wall. He has to back out of it. Dean Reynolds says, thank you very much, good sir. I'll take away the 4th spot. Short, I think, had some contact with Stephen Goldner as well. Barker and Short battling. In the race for 6th, Blake Chapman trying to go around both of them. Stephen Golder now, meanwhile, is there 3 wide, trying to get past Dean Reynolds for 4th. There's so much stuff to watch here at Cedar Lake. I don't know what to watch. Leaders working on lap traffic. That's Barry Goldner. The 36 contact. Reynolds gets into Stephen Goldner. The 30 car hanging on. Dino back up to 4th. $15 laps in the books. Spangler leading by 2 seconds on Keith Jackson. Goldner, does he have 4th? And he does as they work on Barry Goldner. To the race for P2, Brendan Lacey has caught Keith Jackson. More traffic ahead for the leaders. Patrick Spangler has gotten past one of them. I believe that was Clevenger in the 78. Now it's Roger Craig in the 747. On board with Lacey. Lap number 20, this time by. Battle for 5th. Reynolds and Chapman. 79 car nearly up the wall. We go back to the 5-lap average. As we work lap number 20, 15 to go this time by. And now the quickest car on track is the man in 3rd. Brendan Lacey. Nice slider from Blake Chapman. Dino counters. Lacey and Goldner out of the Stephen Goldner Racing Camp. Your 2 quickest. This could get interesting with this long run. But Lacey, 2.5 seconds back, and he's got to deal with Keith Jackson first. If he gets past him, there could be a chance. But it's going to take a lot. Andy Patton, meanwhile, over the wall. He is out of it. Find another race on track here. Brandon Dittmer, John Short. The battle for 7th. Jesse Atkinson, Clay Christopherson also a part of it. Likely no Triple Crown for Pump Pump, but you got to give it up for him tonight. A pair of wins, Open 358s and Rebels. Brandon Dittmer having a great run in 9th. He started back in 21st. Now trying to get past John Short, who was near the front earlier after starting 3rd. Ooh, near contact with Atkinson. That got close. Ooh, big slider there. Oh, boy. Contact with putt-putt. And short hangs on. 10 laps to go. Lead is up big time for Patrick Spangler. 3 seconds. He's left 14 cars on the lead lap so far. Brennan, by the way, is up to P2. He has found his way past Keith Jackson, but I don't think he is going to catch him. He cut off a 10th that last time by. This time Spangler a 10th better as he works on lap traffic once again. As the laps start to tick down. High side, the dominant line to be while the lap cars maneuver through the bottom. Barker having a great run, started 15th. He's up to 7th. 6 laps remain. Brandon Dittmer trying to get a run, trying to get another spot here. On board with Dittmer. These two went at it as well in their heat race and open 3:58 comp. Dittmer up to 7th. 5 to go. Nice counter back from the Brewer to Beast. Dittmer up the wall. Nice slider from Atkinson. Dittmer counters it back. 4 to go. That's the best battle on track right here that we're all watching closely. Meanwhile, this time by 2 laps to go for the high side banger. Patrick Spangler, who has been dominant, started on pole, has led every single lap. He comes up to Bob DeGood and Brad Waite. It's going to be Bob DeGood and Jack Clevenger. White flag is out on the final lap. It's got another throwback scheme on the Training Wheels Racing number X this evening. Through turns number 3 and 4, Spangler, I think he's out of gas. Doesn't matter, comes to the finish line and takes the win. Lacey's 2nd, Jackson 3rd, Stephen Goldner 4th, and Blake Chapman 5th. Goldner the biggest mover of 15 tonight. Take a look at your results this evening. Man, dominant Patrick Spangler tonight. Get your top 3 all in here in a moment. If you're logging off here for tonight, thanks for joining us. We will see you all next week at Eldora. We're going to talk with your top 3, though, before we bid adieu on this evening. Real quick, before we get 2nd and 3rd, Brandon, you had some really good battles there in the end.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. Unfortunately, I just burned off my right rear too much in the early going, so I couldn't keep up to a lot of speed, especially when I got off the top. But no, it was a lot of fun and a lot of clean racing, so I love that.
Well, let's get the interview started here. Keith Jackson finishing 3rd. Keith staying up in the front tonight, and not bad of a run, not bad of a night. Take me through your race.
Just be patient and keep from fencing it. I'm not very good here, and it's a little rough for my liking up around the top, but able to keep her in one piece and all 4s.
Did you want a yellow in those final laps? I mean, I know that was a long run, which we all love, but from your perspective, what'd you need late in the going?
I don't think I had anything for Patrick or Brennan, so I mean, I think a yellow probably would have hurt me, as it would have pulled everybody that was behind me a little bit closer. So I was glad to see it go all the way through.
Who do you want to give shout outs to?
Devo, Jack, Greg, Gary, you guys, Roger, and all the admins. Everybody puts this thing on. Appreciate it.
All righty, man. Well, we'll let you go. Great job tonight, and we'll talk to you next week, hopefully.
All right, buddy. Have a good one.
You as well, man. Keith Jackson finishing 3rd. Brennan Lacey, our 2nd place finisher. Brennan, a nice charge for you, starting 6th, finishing 2nd. Take me through it.
Well, I pretty much still suck at driving these things. I'll give you all that as the update because that was a little rough for me. You know, I haven't been in them in a while, but track's tricky. You can't pass early because it's one lane up on the fence, and somehow we got lucky there a couple times. So I'll take it.
Hey, I mean, you and the entire Stephen Goldner racing crew didn't look too bad tonight. I mean, Stephen had a hell of a charge finishing 4th. Was he giving you some pointers on where it was good and where it was bad?
No, if he did anything, he'd try to tell me where not to go so he could get around me. Come on, you all should know him by now. But, you know, it's just one of those things that we just kind of had to hold on. You know, I feel like I had a car that was there, but towards the end it went away real quick. But luckily I was able to get up to second before it started to go away. So it's a tricky place to run, but glad we could at least get a decent finish. So.
We pulled up the 5-lap average on the broadcast during the feature, and there was at one point where you actually had a better 5-lap average going than him. I don't know if Spangler had a lot of lap traffic he had to deal with, or if you had clean air at the time, or what was going on then. But do you feel like maybe if you needed a caution flag, you may have had something for Spangler, or no?
Hey, you know, once Jackson kind of went to the bottom and I got around him, I felt like I was gaining, you know, a little bit, and I could kind of tell I was gaining about, you know, a tenth a lap or so on him. But then, you know, once that happened, and the car just started to go away. I mean, I didn't have anything. Even if we had a restart, I think I would have ended up probably even losing another spot. It just went away real quick and was holding on there at the end. But Spangler had it out, you know, luckily started in the right position to get it done. That's where it really matters most, especially on that track there. But we'll take it. So,
who do you want to give shout-outs to?
I gotta thank the guys over at SGR. Wish Moonen could have been here tonight. See how he could have done around this place because I know he's pretty good here. But thank them. Got to thank RK Automotive, Beagle, and them boys. Also need to thank Raw Dog Setup Shop for something that kind of held on good. But we'll go back see what we can figure out. So.
Alrighty, man. Great job tonight. Congratulations on a good run. Good to see you back on the podium once again.
Yeah, good to talk to y'all.
Brennan Lacey finishing 2nd. Now let's go to the winner. Patrick Spangler getting it done, extending his points lead. Man, how good was the setup tonight?
It was pretty good. At Cedar Lake, that's all about starting position because you can run the top on 1 and 2 and then slider line 3 and 4. And usually the quickest way around for most of the feature, and it's very hard to pass when somebody's running that. So I got lucky in the heat race there. Sorry to Goldner there. That dude was going to go low. I was going to hit him right in the middle and then just closed up. So that was a little bit my fault there, I think, but it was a good race.
What worked well for you tonight, though, as a whole?
This track's very easy to just bury in the wall and ballpark it, so I was just trying to stay focused and not jump the wall in 1 and 2 and destroy the wall in 3 and 4. The long green flag run at the end was good because I looked at my relative. I could see Lacey was moving up the charts and Goldner, so I was hoping I did not get a caution because they probably had a faster car than me at the end of the race.
Who do you want to give shout-outs to?
Just you and Brandon for the awesome broadcast tonight. Roger run the league, everything he puts on. Trangos Racing. Velocity Race Design for the wrap. And Dad and Uncle back home watching.
Alrighty, man. We'll let you go. Congratulations on the run. And best of luck next week.
Thank you.
Patrick Spangler, your winner as he gets it done in Renegades tonight. And with that win, that is win number 2 on the season in Renegades action. Brandon, final thoughts as we sign off and turn the pages over to Eldora.
Well, another fantastic night of racing. Cedar Lake always brings some exciting racing, even though it might sometimes be one lane. They can still do an absolute bangers of excitement, which we did see tonight. And I'm just happy we put some good old laps together and put on a show for everybody.
A lot of long runs there, which was awesome to see. So with that being said, thanks for joining us on this Monday night. We'll talk to you next Monday at the Eldora Speedway. On behalf of everyone at the Coast to Coast Racing League, all the fine drivers and sponsors, Roger Craig and his great group of admins, on behalf of Brandon Dittmer, I'm Marty Scala saying so long. Congrats to your winners tonight, Clay Christopherson and Patrick Spangler. So long.